Donald Trump, once again center stage, stood behind the golden podium at Mar-a-Lago, hands gripping the edges tighter than usual. The press cameras clicked relentlessly, flashes echoing like gunfire, but this time his signature smug grin was missing. The room, usually filled with adoring nods and forced applause, buzzed with uneasy whispers. Jasmine Crockett, the firebrand congresswoman from Texas, had just done what few dared. She cracked open a door most Republicans kept bolted shut. And now the whole world was peeking in. Earlier that morning, Crockett had stood before a packed House Oversight Committee hearing, her voice sharp as a blade. "We've spent years chasing emails and birth certificates," she declared, while turning a blind eye to the deeply staged political theater that is Donald Trump's marriage. She paused, letting the weight of her words settle. "If we're going to pretend character matters, let's talk about Melania. Let's talk about the real reason she renegotiated her prenup during the 2020 election cycle. Let's talk about loyalty, his and hers." The room had erupted, Republicans protesting, Democrats stunned silent. But Crockett didn't flinch. "You want to talk about family values? Then tell us what kind of marriage can be bought, and what kind of man has to pay." The moment the clip hit the internet, it exploded. #Melania files trended globally within the hour. TikTok was flooded with armchair body language experts dissecting every glance, every stiff smile, every time Melania pulled her hand away on camera. Twitter was ruthless. And Trump was furious. Back at Mar-a-Lago, he could feel it all unraveling. For years, Melania had been a cold enigma at his side, beautiful and silent. He liked it that way. But what Crockett had done was different. She hadn't just thrown shade. She'd pulled back the curtain on what many suspected but no one in power dared to say, that Melania wasn't a partner, she was a contract, and that contract had clauses. Trump's voice cracked as he began his speech, trying to turn rage into rhetoric. "This is disgusting, disgusting," he barked. "That woman, Crockett or whatever her name is, she's lying, she's a nasty woman, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it." But his words were shaky, not from fear, but from something deeper, panic. This wasn't about politics, this was personal, because Melania hadn't come home, not that morning, not the night before, and when he called her, it went straight to voicemail. "People don't know what we've been through." He shouted to the crowd, though his eyes darted nervously to the cameras. "We've been targeted. My wife, beautiful, classy, elegant Melania, she loves me. You see us together, we are very strong." But as he spoke, someone from the back shouted, "Then why'd she move out of Trump Tower yesterday?" Gasps rippled through the room. Trump froze, his lips parted, then closed again. He tried to speak, but his mind was blank. The rumors weren't rumors anymore. Crockett had receipts, screenshots of Melania's legal team quietly securing a new address. Court documents sealed but time-stamped just days after Trump was indicted again. A leaked message from a former staffer referencing a long, overdue exit. Jasmine hadn't exposed a marriage, she had detonated a lie. The truth was, Melania had never wanted the White House. She despised the cameras, the scrutiny, the faux patriotism. Her face at every public event told a story Trump's base refused to read. But when he lost in 2020, and the indictments started piling up, she saw the writing on the wall. She renegotiated, insisted Barron's future be financially secured, and stayed, barely. Now, with Jasmine Crockett cracking the illusion wide open, Melania had chosen silence over defense, and that silence screamed louder than any denial Trump could offer. He slammed his fists on the podium. "Fake news, it's all fake. My marriage is just fine, okay, better than Biden's, better than the Obamas," but the audience wasn't buying it. They'd seen the footage. The icy stares, the disappearing acts, the empty seats at campaign events. Reporters lobbed questions like grenades. "Mr. Trump, is it true Melania hasn't been seen at Mar-a-Lago in over a week? Did she leave after your latest indictment? Was her prenup renegotiated after Stormy Daniels came forward?" Each question landed with another blow, and for the first time, Trump didn't answer. He just stood there, red-faced, seething. Somewhere in a New York apartment high above the city, Melania sipped tea by a window, Phone turned off, the television on mute. Her lawyers had warned her this moment might come. Crockett had simply accelerated the timeline. In Washington, Crockett walked back to her office unfazed. Her staff begged her to turn her phone on airplane mode. It was lighting up with both death threats and praise. She smiled bitterly. "If they're this mad," she said, "I must have told the truth." The speech continued, but it had lost its fire. Trump's bluster was unraveling. He threw insults, attacked the media, mocked Crockett's hair, her accent, her low ick. But it all fell flat. The world had seen through the act. This wasn't about politics anymore. It was about pride, and his was crumbling. He ended abruptly, walking offstage, ignoring questions shouted after him. Backstage, a staffer whispered, "Sir, the RNC wants a statement from Melania. They're asking why she didn't show." Trump waved her off. "She'll do what I tell her." But even he didn't believe that anymore. Jasmine Crockett hadn't just exposed a marriage. She'd triggered a meltdown. And in doing so, she reminded the world that even the most powerful man can't control the truth forever.